Rise and shine. Pour yourself a cup of coffee and tune in to Good Morning Aurora. News, weather, and really cool interviews. Monday through Friday from 8 to 9 a.m.
We are live. Good morning.
Hello.
All right. Sunday morning here in Aurora on Good Morning Aurora. We are proud to have Airpark brothers Ben and Michael.
That's right.
All right.
Sunday morning rock and roll.
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
All right, take it away.
Absolutely wonderful. Good morning, Aisha Saxon, Josue Pais. Good morning. Thank you for tuning in. Good morning to everybody tuning in. You're watching Good Morning Aurora, the second largest city's first daily news podcast, and we are here on a Sunday with the duo of Airpark.
Hello.
All right, fresh off of summer solstice Yorkville.
That's right.
Looked like a really good time out there. Did you guys get caught in any rain? What happened? Was this...
So I think the day before I was checking the radar and everything, and it was like thunderstorms like from like 6 a.m. to all the way to midnight. And then apparently all the storms had just missed it, Yorkville. So we got there, the sun was shining. I was so confused. I was expecting like but yeah, so we missed the weather. And
it was kind of miraculous.
It had a great show.
Right.
So
yeah,
awesome.
it turned out to be a beautiful day.
Good stuff.
It was a great bill, great lineup, and we got a lot of love for the Law Office Music Hall over there, and Summer Solstice Festival is just such a rad thing for that community. So we're stoked to be a part of it.
Right. Friends of ours, James Curtis of Enjoy Aurora, the Aurora area CVB, they highlight a lot of tourism in Yorkville and surrounding cities from ours. So shouts out. Thanks for letting us know about that. Now, just so we know, Ben.
Yes.
You're Ben,
Ben,
and you are Michael.
Right, yeah.
All right. So you guys are from Nashville.
Yes.
Living in Nashville.
Yeah, we both went to Belmont University there,
Okay.
and then stuck around after we graduated and got straight into touring. and have been based out of Nashville ever since.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's been it feels like home now. I think we've been there long enough to claim it, you know.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, own that. Own the Nashville.
Yeah.
So real quick, are there any similarities in the Nashville vibe, the Nashville scene, and us locally here in Aurora?
That's an interesting question. I think I can definitely say the love for live music is very much intact and felt, I think, as musicians playing in both places.
Okay.
Definitely.
Which is really cool because I feel like that's such a crucial part of the industry, you know, and you know, thankfully things seem to be kind of getting back to some kind of new normal, if you will, and just having, you know, that desire and demand for original music in both places is really encouraging and exciting. I think both just musically and just overall as a community, it's like it's good. It feels like the arts are coming back, you know.
And Nashville is known as like the music hub, if not the music hub in America, right?
Yeah.
Country music.
Music City.
Yeah, they call it
know?
Music City. Yeah.
But I mean, there's a huge amount of music happening in Nashville, 24/7 right now. Even there's probably a song being tracked somewhere in Nashville.
Right.
It's gonna be on the radio in a month or something. But yeah, I mean, it's nonstop there. And the cool thing is that it's not just country music. You know, there is a ton of country music and whatnot. But there's a great rock scene. Since we've lived there, there's been great punk scenes and all sorts of different kind of like trends and music that'll come in and out. And, so yeah, it's been really cool to witness.
All right, Airpark.
Yes.
Let's hear that name story. How did that? How did that come about?
Yeah. So speaking of Nashville, so Ben and I lived next to an Airpark, which an Airpark is basically like a small like regional airport.
Private airport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so the one that we lived next to, it was no longer being used as an air park. The city basically took it over and turned it into an actual like park.
Okay.
Recreational park, but it's called Cornelia Ford Airpark, and so they kept the title of it, even though now it's just like a recreational park.
Okay.
And it's really just an amazing spot. Like the runway is, you know, it's like a mile long or something like that. It's really like when you walk up there, the scale of it's so massive and it's beautiful. And when we were trying to think of a band name, we're like, what should our band name be? And both of us really like the idea of a one-word band name. It's something that was simple, and I like really concise kind of things like that. And so I was out for a jog or something, and as I was leaving the Airpark, I just saw the sign that said Airpark. I thought, that'd be a cool band name. We checked it out online. Like, does anybody else have this band name? They didn't, which is also like
You'd be
a
surprised
miracle.
how hard it is to find.
Yeah.
Like which is a good thing. But there's probably more bands than there's ever been in the history of, you know, modern music. And so those one-word band names are hard to come by. You gotta really seek them out. So when we realized that one was up for grabs and it felt natural because it was a place that we spent a lot of time at, we just were like, all right, let's do it.
Creativity flows like that, though, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it just hits you.
Yeah.
Like, that is perfect. But yeah, sometimes people have already used a part of it. Maybe they're doing something they don't want to bite them, you know. Don't want to bite them.
You got to be mindful of that stuff where it can show up down the road and be a problem. But yeah, no, that kind of just revealed itself to us, which to your point is like always how you want, I guess, inspiration or artistic development to happen. It's just kind of feels more like a revelation than like something that you came up with, you know, like a discovery, you know. So, yeah.
A lot of our friends who like live music are tuning in right now. Norma Peterson, good morning to you as well.
Hi, Norma.
Yep. So the live music, we're not at the venue. We are not at River Edge Park, but we are here in Good Morning Aurora Studios. They know how we do it.
Oh yeah.
Right.
All right. So now let's talk about your newest LP, which is Quiet Type, an intimate collection of new and old.
Yeah.
All right.
So that was something that we started working on during the quarantine.
Okay.
We were able to basically work remotely and be able to send tracks back and forth to folks and stuff like that. And we just felt that it was time, especially in a period of like this collective kind of anxiety-ridden time, to like create something a bit more calming and relaxing to listen to. So conceptually, that release is a bit more stripped down and acoustic, and you know, a lot more atmospheric kind of harmonies and vocals and stuff like that. So we just kind of felt like it was something that we would want to listen to in that time. That's something that felt like, you know, calming and relaxing. And so it's probably our mellowest release, and making it was just like a really wonderful way to spend, you know, a time where a lot of people I think felt kind of stuck and trapped. Like, it allowed us to put our energy into something creative when we couldn't go anywhere, you know.
Right.
So.
Yeah. I think the pandemic had that. It did have a positive effect for a lot of people. I mean, to be away from, you know, speaking of my personal life, the hustle and bustle, right?
Sure.
No more commuting on the train back and forth, an hour into traffic, an hour out.
Yeah.
Like, what now is one to do with that extra 4 hours? You can't go outside.
Right. Yeah. Make
Very
some
cool.
music.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, create, you know, whatever.
Now, I mentioned that I have an affinity for guitarists and guitar players because a friend of mine who discovered our show not too long ago, he tried to teach me to play guitar. It's difficult with the key, like play the key of G. It was rough for me. How long did it take you guys to learn and pick up guitar and become good at it?
It definitely took it takes a minute.
It
You gotta go
does.
easy on yourself.
You do. Yeah.
It takes a minute for that the coordination to kind of start,
Yeah. And
and
when
the
you
muscle
first-
memory to
Right.
kind of come back. Because at first it is very frustrating trying to just get the chord shapes down and have your fingers go to those places, you know, naturally and quickly when you need them to. So, but yeah, it took us. You know, we started when we were like 12 and 13. Our parents were brothers, for those watching, if you're just joining, and our parents kind of, you know, they were really good to us in the fact that they let us, you know, they threw everything at us, like sports and, you know, music, whatever. So we gravitated towards music, and at an early age, we're like 12 and 13, and, you know, we lucked out and got a really great guitar teacher that was just almost like a mentor, and, you know, he was just really patient and inspiring to learn from, and I think he was a massive part of that. So, but I mean, it took place over, I mean,
I think to get comfortable.
years.
A couple of
It
years.
takes
I was kind of returning to it kind of on a,
regularly.
Yeah, regularly. Because, like Bill was saying, that the muscle memory is such a part of it, and then your fingers getting used to pressing down these strings.
Yeah.
You know, it just hurts.
Yeah,
when
you get the
first
calluses
doing it.
got to develop.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like-
That's how you know you're there, right?
Yeah.
But, I mean,
Exactly.
one of the things that inspired us so much when we were just learning is that this guitar teacher that Ben just mentioned, we love so much. He really did a great job of like for us, like he would mix in like, all right, we're gonna learn these kind of scales, we're gonna do these kind of fundamentals, but also at the same time, like if there's a song you want to learn that's on the radio or you have a CD, bring it in and we'll learn it together. So
Okay.
it was a good mix of like, all right, let's do something in the moment that's really fun for us. Like, let's learn our favorite song. Let's learn "Smells Like Teen Spirit" by Nirvana.
Oh, great
And
song.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like when you're playing that, you're like, it feels like magic, you know. And so then he would mix in the more
Theory,
theory and the more fundamentals as well. So we got lucky.
Yeah.
So I did have. So you brought up, kind of preempted my question I did have for you guys. What kind of music did you guys grow up listening to? What did you like? You know, what was on the radio that you were like, man, early inspirations. I'm a Nirvana guy too, so I like that.
Yeah. You know, it was kind of it was really all over the place. You know, our dad was definitely like more a top 40 guy, so I think we got to get a heavy dose of like that element. And then we grew up outside of New Orleans, where jazz was a big is and will always be a massive part of the music scene there. So you know, they would take us into town and we would go to Jazz Fest and get to hear these incredible New Orleans jazz musicians play. So that definitely weighed in. And at some point we kind of discovered, you know, the more kind of rock and roll aspect of things, and got really into that. So it really is, it's pretty all over the place. And to this day it is. I mean, we really try to make an effort to listen to, you know, as diverse music as we can, you know,
Right.
all that, because I feel like that can only influence and help your creating process, you know. So yeah,
I like that. So you mentioned jazz too. It's all the same. jazz into rock, I mean,
Yeah.
the border is very fluid. You don't
Yeah.
know when, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's some
Absolutely.
gray area there, and they all, you know, that's kind of the beauty of I think people listening to like other genres, even if they kind of create a different one, because it does start blurring together, and it kind of starts like cross pollinating, if you will.
Exactly.
Which
Yep.
is cool. I think that always makes for something new. I mean, I feel like new things are oftentimes just a combination of two former pre-existing things. When you put them together in a different way, it's like, oh, this is
Right.
something new.
Next question.
Oh, sure.
How would you guys describe your style?
Oh, musically? Or,
Yeah.
Okay.
Musically, yeah. I mean, the style looks good already. I already got that down.
We look good on Sunday morning.
Yeah, Sunday best.
Yeah. You know, our band fits under the indie rock umbrella,
Okay.
and so, but we kind of we explore a little bit in terms of the songs. You know, we can go anywhere from, you know, this most recent release, Quiet Type, is more folk. We really love retro stuff too, kind of like the more 70s stuff. So
60s and 70s.
yeah, just kind of like, I would just say indie rock would be our kind of genre.
Okay. Indie rock. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's it's always tricky, like trying to have the perspective of your own music. But yeah, I would agree. I think like that it kind of falls into that like pretty overarching category
Indie rock,
of
folk.
indie music.
Yeah.
Very cool. Okay. Now, your first album was Early Works, Volume 1.
Mm.
Yes.
So it was Volume 1 and your very first album. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about that very first album.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That was a record that we were really fortunate to have a lot of time to work on. You know, the timer hadn't started on like releases yet because it was the first release. So we spent a year just writing songs, writing sort of preconceived notions in mind of what it should be, and amassed like a pretty decent size collection of them, and just picked what we felt were the four most the strongest songs, and presented them in a way that we felt was kind of had an interesting twist on it from other music we had released in the past. And I think that kind of was like kind of the it ended up being the kind of first domino to fall for us, and like what ended up being kind of the Airpark sound. I mean, a lot of that was written before we had a name or any sort of like I said, thoughts of what it was going to be. So there was just a lot of freedom in the creation of that record. And we recorded it in Nashville at a studio called Ocean Way, which is a really
Beautiful.
historic and beautiful studio we felt really fortunate to get to work in. And I'm trying to think about.
Yeah, and it was just a time. I mean, and we still feel this way. We had left a past project of ours. It just disbanded, and so we felt when we were writing those songs, and it continues, like I said, to today, but especially creatively liberated. We had just gotten out of this other thing, and so we had all of a sudden we got to make things just the way we wanted to.
Nice.
And that felt amazing. To really be able to really like harness the thing.
I bet.
We're
Yeah.
trying to do.
Yeah, and then we just gravitated towards I don't if you were curious about the title, we just like the idea of there's like a cheekiness to Early Works Volume 1 because it kind of implied that we're and we plan to be around for a while.
Yeah.
And it's there's just like a cheeky element to it, and then also just liked how clean it was, just Volume 1, Volume 2. It just kept it fun, So
That's what prompted me to ask about that, and it stuck out because it has like it's got a baked in like Volume 1. Like these guys have been like it makes you guys seem like you've been around already for like 10, 15, 20 years, and now we're going back to the early works, like digging in the crates kind of thing.
Right.
Totally, yeah, that was definitely the idea. It was supposed to be, just kind of an interesting take on basically what you're describing, and we liked that it was. I don't know. It felt familiar, but also like, well, this is a new band, so how like, basically kind of putting our stake in the ground that like, we're gonna continue to make music for a while, and that but also kind of this like ambiguity of like. Yeah, when were these written? How far does it go back? What does it look like? So, yeah.
If you're just tuning in, we are here with Airpark on a Sunday morning. You're watching Good Morning Aurora, the second largest city's first daily news podcast. These brothers have just finished Summer Solstice Yorkville, which was great and awesome. Hope that you guys got a chance to check that out. So last question before we get into our outro song.
Yeah.
What's next for the brothers of Airpark? What's coming up?
We were hoping you would.
Yeah. So we're about to Ben and I are about to drive out to California in about 2 days from Nashville. It's solid 30 hours, and we can't wait. We're going to be making our debut full-length album out there.
Okay.
So it's going to be like a really exciting time for us, and we're going to be writing a bunch leading up to it. We're going to start recording in August. So
All right.
Yep.
the album should be out in the spring, next spring. So that's the main thing that we're like really. I mean, that's
Looking
gonna
forward to
focus.
working on that, and we're working with a really rad husband and wife band called Tennis. They're going to be producing the record,
Okay.
Yeah.
and they're just we've done past release with them. We love working with them so much. We want to do it again, and we're really excited for that. We're gonna be working on a new full length album and hoping to have it out in the spring.
That's right.
Yeah.
These brothers are tearing up the country, y'all. They're going from Yorkville here in A-Town, and now they're shooting to Cali, straight out of Nashville. I like that.
Yeah.
All right, so next, let's do next song.
Yeah.
Then, all right, let's do this, you guys.
All right.
You guys are getting a treat tuning in to Good Morning Aurora, the second largest city's first daily news podcast.
So this next song that we're gonna play. Speaking of Tennis, this is a song that we did with them on the first EP that they produced for us. It's off of our Songs of Airpark EP. The song is called Devotion,
And an acoustic version is on the Quiet Type and Intimate Collection of New and Old.
All right, and we can listen on Spotify.
on Spotify,
Yep.
Airpark on Spotify.
iTunes,
We're out there.
Amazon, whatever.
Wherever you get your...
Wherever you get your music.
Yep.
It should be there.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Rivulets from my heart. A memory rolling off my tongue. I didn't know why I was waiting. I didn't know why. So much as you carry with the shine to the lipstick drawn. I didn't know why I was waiting. I didn't know why. Something about devotion. Something about devotion. I didn't know why I was waiting. You're coming from nowhere dream. So magnetism or astrology. I didn't know why I was waiting. I didn't know why. Picture you lean as a palindrome. Said it so many times, my mind not phone. I didn't know why I was waiting. I didn't know why. Something about devotion. Something about devotion.
Absolutely wonderful. Wonderful.
Thanks for having us.
Hey, for all of you listeners and viewers out there, Jen Ingram, good morning to you. Norma Peterson, yes, they are jamming. Aisha Saxon says that she loves this. We appreciate everybody. Yes.